Morrison and Saif Morrison. And this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in, tune in, tune in, tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in, 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 tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, co-host by the superstar, internet sensation, world traveler, Mr. Jeffrey Fernandez. What's going on, Jeffrey? Oh, just doing fine. I'm sharing up like crazy here, so ignore me for a moment. Tiffany already popping in. It must not be Memorial Day in Barbados. Yeah. So, why don't you tell us about your show last weekend since you weren't here? Um, mhm. Yep. Oh, hold on, Jeffrey. I totally screwed you up.
Oh, no,
Oh,
you did it again,
I
Doug.
didn't unmute you. I thought I did.
Ah,
All right.
bummer.
Just to go over the why we had a different co-host.
Okay. So, yeah, I tried to make it to the show last week. I couldn't do it. I was on my way back from Cali. I was heading back to Texas, and I thought I can get away with hitting up a truck stop and getting on their Wi-Fi and but I didn't think that was going to be stable enough. So I was like, hey, I could make it. But overall, the show was really good.
Yep.
So that first show we had back in April, I
Yep.
thought that was huge. So this past show, May 20th, last weekend, it was even bigger. We were in a cul-de-sac, so we had like these two streets going into the cul-de-sac. Those were packed full of cars. There were demo cars, competitor cars. There was also two organizations there. There was DB Drag, and there was Base Wars with Richard. And man, we had like so many cars. I know their line was like endless. Our lines were endless. We worked out the logistics a lot better. Thanks to Robert Gallegos and Adrian Hernandez, they worked out the ins and outs so that way cars were able to get in and out a lot smoother. Be on the lookout, man. They're doing big things in SoCal. I know they got a show coming up July and September.
Mhm.
Other organizations, but yeah, so they're doing big things. So keep your eyes out for those guys and
Awesome.
the
They,
SoCal guys.
Dave Bradshaw says, well, look who decided to show up, my backup host.
Back. Hey, you did a good job last week, Dave. Kudos.
Yeah. Jeffrey would have been in the same boat with what are you guys talking about? It's just when I get into technical stuff, I sometimes feel might go a little overboard on the technical stuff. But yeah. Anyway, we had a 3X on Saturday night. And people showed up pretty late. I mean, like literally 10 minutes before cutoff time, I had probably 15 cars show up. It's like, dude, really? So we ended up being there till like midnight. Normally we're out of there by 10, but when nobody qualified prior to freaking end of qualifying. Anyway, so it was a good show. I want to shout out to Rusty Flowers and DC Audio. They provided us with two level 1 12-inch subwoofers. We gained $265 towards the West Coast Prize Fund off the raffle for that. And 100% of that goes to the West Coast Prize Fund. You can also see it on the Sonic FX page on Facebook. You can go there and see what our totals are at and how we're gaining money and how many people, how many entries and all that stuff. So, with that being said, in case you guys can't tell, I've been sick the last few days, but I'm starting to feel a lot better. I wanted to ask Tiffany. Tiffany, you said it's a holiday there as well. What holiday do you guys have? I'm just curious. For us, it's Memorial Day. Recognize our veterans out here that have passed in wars. But anyway, I was talking to Wayne. He got back from his cruise he was on. They were still working on their cruise and whatnot, but talked to him on Monday or on Wednesday of last week, and he said he actually did quite a bit of work on the multi-location. It's Whit Monday, official end of Easter. I mean, I wonder if that's White Monday, and it's like a Catholic thing maybe, because I mean Easter's a religious holiday, right? It's not secular, so I wonder if that's a Catholic thing. I'm sure she'll tell us. Anyway, so I was talking to Wayne, and he said he's almost done with it, complete, ready to do some stuff. He wants to do some testing on it and confirm that's ready, so that we can meet with our guest online, Mr. Chris Gregory of the Tennessee Base Racers. What's up, Mr. Chris?
How y'all doing tonight?
Just fine. Hey, just so you know, I've been bowling, obviously, because that's what I do. You guys know who Josh Blanchard is, Chris?
I've heard the name.
Okay, so he runs the West Coast. Oh, yes, it's WITS, and it's Catholic based. So, yeah, that's what I thought. Josh is the PBA commissioner for the West Coast, Professional Bowlers Association. Dude, I went and bowled with that guy a couple weeks ago. And he asked me to be on his team again next year. Of all the people in the world he could bowl with, why the hell would he bowl with me? I'm just a scumbag.
But you're a scumbag with a very good average.
And then we got Tennessee in the house, as Timmy says. Yeah, and then I was bowling a tournament yesterday. Just because I was leading it, I got people that have won. There were 7 regional tour titles and 2 junior national titles bowling on my pair. I beat them all by over 100 pins. And
Caleb shot in a curtain tournament Saturday, took second, shot 676.
There you go.
And he shot in a local Memorial Day doubles tournament, was first as of yesterday, and then got bumped down to I think 10th today by some house bowler that literally entered 12 times.
There
with
you
12
go.
different other people.
That sounds like me. I do that crap.
Hey, whatever works, man. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Money and Yoshi are here also.
Yep.
Um,
Those
but
are my girls.
those are your girls.
Yeah, we here down in Tennessee, man, we've got a definite female basis. We have 5 females base racing right now and are very competitive.
So you know what? We have 3 out here in California, which is the
Awesome.
most we've ever had.
Hey, man, I've always said that, and everybody makes jokes about this, but I've always said females, I think, make great base racers because they're patient. Where we just want to, we want to come out there, we want to whole shot it and sit there and ride 29.9 or 39.9 the whole time. And females are patient. They'll just they'll come out, they'll roll it up there and just take it. So, but I'm very proud of our female competitors. We've really worked hard to try to bring everyone in to what we do. And it just makes me smile, because back in the day, I mean, it was, you had Alma.
Right.
And that was about it. And very few other females were out and about. And, they were, and, just recently we got a bunch to come up and compete with us. As a matter of fact, we're having for a little bit of a fun thing in August. We're doing what we're calling Ladies Night Out. We're going to host it for some sanctioned event, but then we're going to host after that. We're going to host a Cash Days, females only.
All right.
We've got a couple of sponsors that are sponsoring some gift cards and stuff like that for it, but it's just going to be all females. And right now, from what I understand, I'll have a full bracket, and I'm very happy about that.
Full bracket in what class?
29.9, all females.
Very cool.
We do the 29.9 thing like how you do the beat the boss thing, because at the end of the day, almost any vehicle can do 29.9. I mean, we've proven that. We've shown that. A pair of 8s, can do 29.9.
Yep.
So it just makes it easier, makes it to where we can have more entries because we don't have to worry about somebody, oh, well, I don't have enough to do this. I don't have enough for 39 or 49.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if you watched my last Beat the Boss I did on Saturday night. I ended up tying either 2 or 3 times against Scott, Audio Connection Scott. He has that little green wagon.
Yeah, I like that wagon.
Yeah. So he's like, damn, you're pretty good at this. Nikki Brown in here says, hey, Chris.
She's one of mine.
What about Queenie?
Oh, cool.
Or Queen?
The Queen?
Yeah.
The Queen? I don't know if she's on here tonight. I know her work schedule is a little crazy.
Okay.
But, yeah, she's still very active.
Good.
Her plans are to go to finals. Actually, what you will see this year is what we call her significant other. We call him Magic Mike.
Uh-huh.
But he was there with her last year. And you'll be seeing this year his van that we built. He'll be doing 39 now.
What about Gracie? Haven't seen much from her.
Gracie.
I mean, her
Gracie
dad's right here.
Yeah, I know. Joe's here. Gracie has focused more on making some life changes. I know we're very proud of her. She has actually entered into a program where she's learning how to dog groom, doing dog grooming with PetSmart.
Cool.
So she'll actually have a 3-week training session up here close to where we live, and after that she'll be certified and have her certification to do dog grooming. So, and I think she's making big steps, but she keeps talking about wanting to come back, so we might get her back soon.
Joe said she's
she might
growing
not make
up.
finals this year. Yeah, she's growing up.
She's growing up.
We're proud of her. We're proud of her. She's making the right decisions and doing the right things that most 19-year-olds wouldn't even make.
That's a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
Steph Brandon is in here also.
She's one of mine. She's my she's a high school friend of mine that just decided, she's like, hey, I want to try this competition thing out. So, and she took second at Triple Fest.
Dang.
So she had to run against my son Caleb. So that was kind of tough. So, but no, I am proud to say one thing I will recognize in Tennessee, as some of you may or may not have seen. Tennessee now has the Cyclone demo no-wall world record right now.
Wow.
Who is that?
A gentleman named Ronald Brazel. He just came out of nowhere, built the vehicle completely himself. And this is much respect. It's a square body Ford F-150, just an old farm truck, and cut through the bed.
Mhm.
You know what? His our format, our boom check tracks only go to 20 hertz,
Got you.
and this guy played 18 and was at
Wow.
a 51 and a 51.2 at a 30-second average.
Well, Cyclone,
So-
you could play any song.
Well,
Cyclone.
no, we were told by the I interpreted Wayne as the 3X as the 3X. You had to play the boom check tracks. If I'm wrong, then this guy's about to start playing something different.
That was until this year. This year
That
we
was until
changed.
this year?
Yes, sir. And this year we changed it to allow anything, and then we also changed. Well, last year we changed that you have to use a boom check for base race and top dog.
Yeah,
And
which we're
top
doing.
only,
Which
yeah.
we're doing in Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that
So-
means that means his score is even going to go up further.
But in Cyclone, it still only reads down to 20 hertz. So if
Okay,
he
so
plays
yeah.
16, it's still only going to register at 20.
Well, unfortunately, when he plays the boom check tracks, it's peaking at 21, not 20.
Yeah.
So we might play around with putting a 19 hertz track on his, but still very
Oh, yeah.
awesome, beautiful build. Like I said, if you ever have time or bored, his name's Ronald Brazel. He's on Facebook. It's just a straight, build. Scar audio subwoofers, tear amps. I mean, excess
Well-
power.
Well, when we're done here
Beautiful build.
tonight, I might have you hook us up with them, and we might even have them on next week. No.
Excellent. I can do that. Really nice guy. Big
Next
family
week,
man. So
next week will be the judges. It'll be
Ah.
the judges next week, right? So first Monday of every month we do, which will be the first, right? No, it'll be like the 4th or something.
be the 5th, I think, because the 4th I'm doing an install on Sunday. So yeah, be
Okay.
the 5th.
First Monday of every month we do a judges questions. So we just pull a bunch of judges on here, and competitors or anybody can come on and say, hey, what about this? What about that? So you guys ever complain that you don't ever get answers from judges? That's on you now.
Yeah, definitely. I've watched the videos multiple times. They work. It works. It helps people out a lot.
Right. So I mean, we're here to help you guys out, and if you have questions, we're here to answer them for you guys. And I think we have a real good group of judges. We talk a lot amongst each other. Oh, hey, what about this car? What about that car? So, where I want to hit Joe Mullen's response here. He said she showed up and throw down a perfect qualifying score with my van after 5 hits after taking a whole year off.
Yeah, I told you, she still
crazy.
got the skill. It's there.
Yep.
It's just the time now.
Well,
She can still throw down.
That's what I really like about the Beat the Boss is people are like, well, my car does this. It's real hard to do it. Dude, let me sit in there. Let me show you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bring your car around.
Well, I mean, one of the things we do as far as our little group or niche or whatever is that when we're getting together, every cookout, every family gathering, somebody brings a term lab and it ends up us base racing out in the front yard. Okay,
Right.
That's just what it ends up being. Okay, and we just change vehicles. Like, hey, you try this. Here, you try this one.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what we do, and I think it hones your skill level
Right.
to where not only do you know your vehicle, but you can run anybody's vehicle.
Right, because once you understand how to do it, you can run it. I mean, like I said, I don't practice. I do it once a show or twice a show, and I'm in a different vehicle every time. So, Tim A says he's not worried about asking judges questions. He'll just call you in the middle of the night.
That's the truth. He will.
That's nice.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I get. I wake up to text messages or hey man, hey, what about this? What about this? Hey man, what about this? So,
Yep.
but a lot of times, me just being a 2X judge, I really depend on you guys, Jeremy, creamer, everything. Because there's some questions that I'll read and I'll interpret, and I'm like, you know what? I might want to bounce this off and let someone else interpret it.
Yep.
Just because at the end of the day, I know that, you guys have been doing this a lot longer than I have. So, and I don't see as many vehicles as much as you guys do. I mean, our shows are more base race focused. It's just how it's been.
Base
We're
race
getting
is
a
so
few
easy to
FPL.
judge.
Oh
I'm sorry?
yeah, I'm telling you.
Base race is so easy to judge.
It is, and it's one of the things that I've been able to build in Tennessee,
Right.
because people around here are still used to clamped classes with, and I don't mean, DB drag race, of course, we have our pro stock classes, our clamp class,
Right.
but they're used to organizations where you'll have 7 clamp classes just for a street car, 7 clamp classes for a modified car.
Oof.
I mean, it becomes almost like, at smaller events, you're just there participating.
Gotcha.
You're not really beating anybody because it's just you.
There's
Right.
Mr. David McKay just popped in.
Yep.
There he is.
He's soon to be father, guys. He is.
Is he?
1st of July, he will have his baby girl.
Wow, that's so cool.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that doesn't detract him from competing.
No, he's already literally planned out his whole season to make sure those 75 points are acquired so he can go to finals. Because the one thing he wants is, I guess it has been confirmed. I'm not 100% sure, but it has been confirmed. So far, no one has the trifecta. 3 years straight, 3 years in a row, 139.9 world champion. So, and that's what he's going for this time.
There's some guys over here on the West Coast that are kind of not going to just let that happen.
I understand. I'm looking forward to that because we can finally solve this whole dilemma of Cali versus, Cali versus Tennessee. We can finally determine, so I think it's great how that's going to work. I really am looking forward to it. Still trying to figure out the whole thing of when we're base racing at, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, poor Grease over there is at 5 a.m. So trying to figure out how that logistics is going to work out on that.
Dave Bradshaw says we'll stop that dream for him.
No.
Looking forward to it.
Wow.
Dave's got the bring it.
I
don't forget, we sent somebody out there for y'all to mess around with, and she didn't mess around. Remember that.
That's right.
So,
and then Joe says there's a guy sitting in my recliner right now that isn't going to let him get that third either.
oh Lord,
dude, all kinds of smack talking here today.
Oh, dude, we have a little group chat, and Joe is titling that little group chat of "Talker of the Shit." And Joe, I love him to death, man. But Joe will lose in the lanes, and he'll still talk shit as he's pulling out. He's just great. So one day he lost an event because he was literally talking so much shit in the lanes that he forgot he was supposed to be running, and the clock started. He was like, "Oh no!"
Oh no.
That's what happened to me on Beat the Boss. Like I said, I wasn't feeling the greatest, so I'm in there, and I've already tied a few times. My brain shut off. I'm like, oh shit, and I couldn't get back to where I needed to go. Dave Bradshaw says my teammate is the West Coast champion. I'm not sure who that one is. Eric Hansen checking in. Base race on the West is different. We will see. Don't count the girls out. We is coming too.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. My last 2 events to qualify for 29.9, you had to be in a 29.96, and that was the bottom of the bracket.
So 29.96 has been the lowest it's ever been to qualify at World Finals. So don't even think you're going to qualify at World Finals with anything less than a 29.96.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that. But I'm just saying, though, from our local shows with our beginners, we're seeing 9.6 as the starting of the bottom of the bracket, which I'm extremely proud of.
Josh J2 says, bring it.
Some of these individuals have just started 3 months ago, and they're doing it, you know, they just makes me proud, man. When we bring, you know, we bring on the average of our finals. I think you guys have seen it. We brought 20 cars last year from Tennessee alone.
Yep, that's why you guys need to come out to the West Coast finals so I can get my numbers up.
I am the one who beat Gracie. She was good though. She was a tough competitor. Oh, is that the one who beat Gracie? Okay.
Yeah, Dave Bradshaw says, I'm the one who beat Gracie. She was good, though. She was a tough competitor. Dave Bradshaw says his daughter was conceived after finals last year. He was all hyped up, I'm sure.
That's how David McKay.
Yeah.
That was David McKay. I promise
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry. Dave McKay.
Yeah,
says he was all hyped up after finals and had to get him some. And next thing you know, he's got bun in the oven.
Yeah, we did the math. It was like, uh-oh.
Oh, that's right.
So cool.
So, yep, Joseph Riney, he was the 39-9 champion for West Coast the year you came out. And he is now competing again this year. He took last year off. And he's trying to bring it and bring it strong.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, Eric Hansen says he doesn't know what you're talking about with this Tennessee, California stuff. Texas is bringing it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like I said, hopefully once we get this multi-locational thing worked out,
Yep.
we can do some, you know, Cali, Tennessee, Texas, Tennessee.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we're down. We just, you know, luckily enough, we've got a few locations that are pretty open up to us, you know, as far as nighttime events.
All right.
You know, anytime that once we get the software up and going, we've got a couple of weekends we've kept open. I've already told all of my peeps, I'm like, guys, we're going against Cali, we're going against Texas.
Right.
They're all down and ready to go.
Oh, absolutely. Josh says base race and top dog are our bread and butter out here. Obviously, you guys are Tennessee base racers. Same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bradshaw says, bring a lunch. Going to be a long day. We enjoy having Gracie and family out here. Great people. You guys are awesome.
Oh yeah, they had nothing but when Joe and her got back, they had nothing but good things to say about the hospitality,
right,
and the event that they went to. It was they loved it. So.
Dave Bradshaw again says, love you all out there, but I don't like you for 30 seconds at a time. After that, we all family.
Is that all y'all base race?
For 30 seconds.
It only takes 30 seconds.
It's only 30 seconds at a time. 30 seconds at a time.
Okay, we have a couch with a recliner. We're good. We plan on staying there for a little while.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, so like I said, I did talk to Wayne, and Wayne, he thinks he's really, really close. It was working prior, but there's some new technologies in interconnection and to speed up. It's called the clocking that Wayne was working on, and he thinks that it's going to be so much. He thinks it's even going to be more responsive and faster now with the new adjustments he's made to the term lap. So,
well, two of the locations that I have, we're going to be running a 50-foot Cat 8 cable, literally off our location's modem directly into my laptop.
Okay.
So that way, hopefully, we should have no signal delay, no nothing. Everything should run completely smoothly, as you know. So.
Joe Mullen says, "You all showed nothing but love. We will always be thankful for how my girl was treated." So
yeah, like I said, nothing but good things.
Yeah, and like I said, anybody that comes out here, if you guys get the opportunity, Autorama is a phenomenal chance if you guys can get out here. It's the last weekend of April, and it's a 5X weekend, and but the cool thing about it is they put us right in front of the gate with 30,000 people. I get people that come from Washington, Canada. You know, we get Jimbo down there. Ray likes to come. He couldn't come this year because their passport, the government shut down right before he was supposed to leave, so he couldn't get his passport to leave. So
yeah, we were when we saw the idea for finals with Canada as its own host location.
Yeah.
We all made the joke. We all made the comment. I was telling David now that we were all angry because that means Canada has their own finals. That means we don't get to see Jimbo and
Bummer,
Steven
yeah.
and
Right.
Ray. And that's one of the things we love dearly is for them to come down.
Yep. Well, hold on. So Dave Bradshaw, he chimed in late, so he doesn't know. He says Doug Stockton sounds like he smokes a pack of cigarettes before the show. Dave, as you knew at the show this weekend, I wasn't feeling the greatest, but I'm almost over it now, and yeah, my voice is one of the things that's not recovering well. Anyway, yeah. So one thing we're working on is a top dog / base race event with the multiple locations. Jeffrey's down for it.
Oh yeah.
I'm down for it, and obviously you are, Chris. And then we're going to use that as a springboard to start working to help. You guys may not understand this, but when we do these multiple locations and stuff, and I'm playing with the program, I'm actually doing stuff in the background, and Wayne's kind of looking at stuff so that we can fine tune it so that there's not going to be problems at World Finals. If we can work out all the bugs before World Finals, it's just going to make everything go better.
Yeah, that's I like that idea. I was telling Wayne about that when he was telling me the software was closed, and I was like, yeah, it's so much better to do this on a 1X event where we have a system crash or something like that, can easily recover versus we're going after a ring and here goes the system.
Yeah, and when you're going for a ring, you're in a different mindset. At a 1X show, oh yeah, hey guys, no problem. We know what's going on. Let's reset it and rerun it, right?
Yeah.
And that is a different mentality, and that's why we want to do it. Jeffrey and I have done. How many do you think we've done, Jeffrey? Not including finals. I bet we've done 5, probably.
Yeah, about 5. Yeah.
Probably 5 of just Jeffrey and I, and then we got a little bit with what's his name, Andrew McCain out in New Mexico. We
New
did
Mexico.
some with him. Yep. And then Jeffrey and I have been part of every Internet World Finals. Jeffrey as a competitor for the first 2, and then 3. Was it 2 or 3?
I know it was the very first one I can recall.
Well, and then you were also in Vegas.
Yeah.
So that was 2.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was it. I think you became a judge after Vegas.
Right. I think so. Yeah.
Yep. Passionate.
We just had a cash days in Newport, Tennessee. That was $1,100. So
that was to the winner of the 20s class?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was lucky enough and blessed enough to be able to I hit up a ton of manufacturers, a ton of local teams. They chipped in.
How much money again?
$1,100.
That went to the winner, not to split up between so many people?
No.
That was just
went to
the
winner,
place.
$299.
Cool.
Yeah. So Chris Caudell, last year's North American champion.
There you go.
So
that
really
ain't on accident.
No, he's a top-notch competitor. So as a matter of fact, it was a joke of leading up to it was the joke was how much does it cost to get Chris to come out there? Because he's from Bowling Green and Newport was a drive. And as a matter of fact, he kind of got a little sneaky. He ended up loading his car up in a buddy's enclosed trailer and took it and brought it. And then, I saw that guy show up and I was like, oh, look, Paul's here. Trailer dropped and here comes the Honda right off the back. And I'm like, Chris, you little sneaky guy. So
David McKay says lucky he wasn't there.
Oh,
yeah. David almost showed up, but I told him, I was like, at the end of the day, you got your daughter on the way, and that's a long drive for a chance at something. So,
Chris Caudell piping in. Is that one of your guys?
Yeah, that's what he wanted, Chris Caudell.
Oh, there he goes. He goes, hey, he gets the whatever.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you this about Chris is that he believes in what we're doing here, and believes in helping it grow. And he does a lot of things to help it grow. He lets us come to his house and host cash days.
Oh,
so
cool.
we've actually hosted a couple of cash days at his house. Yeah, Nikki. she tied him second round. So that was one of the big things that I loved about it was that, she's a newcomer 3 months into this, and she went round. She made it all the way through, and it was him and her in the finals, and they went rounds.
That's Nikki there. She said she came in second. Yeah. She tied him, and she was thrilled with that. Said he's absolutely awesome.
So, Chris is a great competitor, great guy.
David's trying to say something about an amp issue. Sounds like an excuse.
Yeah, that's kind of what I say. Yeah.
So, Chris,
my sub broke,
when you run the show, so Chris, when you run the shows, obviously, right? So,
yes, sir.
Are you kind of like how Doug and I we get on the mic and we, how Doug likes to get when he calls bass race?
Oh,
are you that way when you do your shows?
What Doug does, okay? I tried it once and I sounded like I'm having a seizure. Okay.
See, I
wonder if that fast.
I wonder if that might be the difference then, because and you guys already know there's a specific competitor who says sometimes that throws him off when Doug does that. I wonder, like at your shows, is it just kind of like focused and quiet while they do their runs? I mean, at my shows, I like to, say like, they're 2 tenths away from each other, or, they're neck and neck. And then sometimes those nerves get to the competitor and then they overshoot or they totally mess up in the lanes. But I'm wondering like how some people are saying it's different here on the West Coast when we do our base race. I wonder if that's what they're talking about, like the way it's handled as opposed to like other, locations. And I just basically wanted to know, how do you do your shows? Do you get on the mic and just, read scores off, or?
My second year competing.
Okay.
And I pulled up in the lanes at World Finals to qualify, and right next to me was Gary Killian.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sitting there ready to qualify, and I'm 29.90. And of course, we all know Gary, 59.9. I can't even hear myself think. So after that, one of the things that I instill in all my competitors is trying to zone out. So I try to talk on the mic. Of course, once again, nobody's Doug. Okay, nobody's the auctioneer. But I just want to make sure everybody understands that when they go to finals, they may have Doug talking in the background.
Right.
And I love it. I think it's great because it adds a sense of excitement, to it, especially if you're watching it live. And like we had this year at Owensboro Live, you couldn't see the screens very well. So you had Doug sitting there just bouncing off scores, and people were watching and enjoying it. So I've had a few people, complain, but after they get used to it, it's easy. So, but you're right. I don't talk as much as he does, but I'm working on it. I want to get a wireless headset. I want to go back to the days where we walk around and actually talk to people, ask them what they have in their cars, try to build back what we like. When I remember back in the day, Wayne would walk up to people with a microphone and, do little small interviews before they ran.
Yeah.
I want to get back to doing stuff like that because, at the end of the day, a lot of people think we're a dying breed, our sports starting to dwindle. And I just think that, no, it's not. It just needs a little more exposure.
It looks like David McKay chimed in and said it's a lot quieter on the East Coast. Is that
yeah, it is.
Safe
we're
assessment?
A lot quieter. We are a lot quieter. Yep. So, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if you pull up and a rocket's going off in the back of your head. You should be able to do it.
Dave says Doug Stockton sells cattle on the weekends.
Now that I do believe so, he does.
And then Jeremy Scoggins pipes in with, I can't tell you how many times McKay grabs my butt while I run trying to distract me.
Exactly.
And he does. I've seen it.
There's distractions everywhere. You just need to be focused and on top of your game.
If you guys ever notice when David runs, his wife is nowhere to be found. It's like a jinx. His wife is like, she's gone. When David runs at finals, I mean, everybody else is standing up there with him. His wife's over there in a corner somewhere.
David's response to him grabbing the button, he goes, and? Your point is?
We're a fun crowd out here. I mean, it's we have a good time doing what we do. And I love it. I wouldn't trade our guys for nothing because at the end of the day, we're kind of a family. I mean, we really are. We help each other. You know, there's two big teams out here right now in Tennessee. There's Dark Side Car Club.
They just
and
chimed in right there. Dark Side
Yeah.
Car Club. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, and there's us, and there's there's Wall Street's Finest. That's my kind of group, but we all help each other. We're all there for each other. I mean, we're always the weekend before finals. We all get together and we practice, and we test and we record. I mean, everybody. We have an iPad with everybody's starting volume, everybody's track when everybody's ready.
Yep.
So I mean, it's something David started. Because I'll tell you something, guys. I couldn't do this without him.
Oh yeah, it's people like to give me kudos on whatever I'm doing or whatever, but I put the onus on the competitors because ultimately they're the ones with the insane amount of enthusiasm that's going to bring in the next person, and they're going to bring the next person on with them. And share that enthusiasm and create the next most enthusiastic person. I can't do that. I can just give them a place to play and, try and make them have a good time. But the enthusiasm and the camaraderie has to happen within the competitors.
That's what Queen did. Queen brought us. I mean, she started out last year by herself, and she brought on 4 new people this year.
Yep.
Part of that CC.
Dave McKay says, one distraction I can't get over is my wife. So
You can't.
I will tell you.
Stands beside him.
I will tell you, I'm pretty patient with my kids, but when they piss my wife off, that's when I'm pissed. Well, I mean, it is because I got to live with her. And obviously, when they piss her off, I get the brunt of it. So, I mean, that's how family works. Right?
Yep.
So, so a good way to get me in a bad mood is to piss my wife off. And she's not afraid to share with me when she's pissed off, we'll say. So, and he said, Dave Bradshaw says, that's what we preach out here on the West Coast also. It's, team unity. He says, help create in the next generation. That is our job as leaders. Agree 100%. Yeah, all that stuff's cool. I mean, I love the camaraderie. I think the car audio market is different than some of the other things that people do in that we are so we want you to be better than you are. In other sports, in bowling, I don't want your kid to be as good as me in bowling because I have to face him. But in car audio, we want the other people to be as good as they possibly can because that hones our skills, the next competitor's skills in base race. And I think in bowling or basketball or anything like that, when you have somebody that's that good and destroys everybody, people tend to leave. Where in base race and top dog, everybody's got an opportunity, and by them being that good, it actually drives everybody else to be better, and by that, the guy that's at the top, it's driving him to be better also, or her. Not that we have a her on the top at the moment.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, she's coming.
Yep.
The girl is coming. I mean, I've got them. I'll call her out right now. I don't know if she's even on here, but I'll call her out right now. We call her Money. She's taken this, and we taught her to base race. But one of the things she's doing is her and her husband bought a meter. They're trained. She's training other people.
Yep.
And showing them how to do this and helping them along. And I'm telling you, she'll be on the top. I think she will be because she's just got the drive. She's got the initiative.
Nikki said she's on.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
And she tells me I embarrass her by saying all this stuff, but I'm telling you that she's been coming over and sitting behind me with at
It,
shows.
it's different. So there's two ways of this, right? Somebody that's given something and somebody that's earned something. Yeah, right here, Alicia
That's her.
Confendother says, "I'm here.
That's her.
Thank you."
That's money.
If you earn something,
Nice.
you've earned that. There's nothing nobody can take away, and most people like that, Gary Killian and stuff like that, they realize and the humbleness of they don't realize how much they've actually earned of it, you know, and those are awesome people because when you're authentic that way, there's nothing that matches your enthusiasm and your authenticity. You can't fake that stuff, and that makes you so much a better ambassador of what we do, and to help people out at shows is the best way I could say it.
I agree. I agree 100%. Like I said, she does that. I mean, she's actually been coming and sitting with me, learning how to run the computer, learning how to run things.
Yep.
Because I think at the end of the day, I think she's going to be, possibly a next 1X judge. I really think in my heart she will be. So because she wants to help people and build this.
He says Weiston Ross is the new dude coming. Keep an eye on him at finals.
You remember Bubble Boy?
Oh yeah.
That's his son.
All right.
That's his son is Winston.
Wow.
That's his son. That's
Winston.
that's Bubble Boy's son, Winston. We just finished his build about 2 weeks ago. He's still getting learning to use it, learning that's how it works. But yeah, you talk about family. There you go. That's father and son competing together.
That's cool.
So just like me and my son do.
That's awesome. Dave McKay says, we all used to make jokes that I would never have any championships. Now look at us.
Wow.
So,
Well, we still don't think you earned them, David. That top level in slamology is still, questionable. Oh,
no, that's awesome. And speaking of like people trying to help people out, in Iowa, Dan Horner is paying me to fly out there to put on a 3X for him.
awesome.
And it just happens to be the same day as an event that I had in Reno. So I keep to my commitments, and so I sat down with Josh and I said, "Hey Josh, here is the deal. They're asking me to fly out. If you don't, because Josh T.W.I.C.A has been telling me he's wanted to do some 1X shows for a minute. And he actually has a whole trailer set up where the screens pop out of the sides. And I mean, it's all set up for running competitions, kind of. And anyway, so I said, hey, do you want to take over this one Reno show and try it as a 1X so I can fly out and do this show in Iowa? And Dave was like, Josh was like, I would love to do that. I'm honored you asked me. Hey, I want to help anybody that wants to help other people. So, with that being said, I'm going to be flying out in Iowa July 15th, and that same weekend, Josh T.W.I.C.A is going to be doing a show right here in Reno as a 1X. So,
it will be at Excess Power on July 15th in Maynardville, outside of Knoxville.
There you go.
With our 3X.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Dave or Dan Horner, he was like, he's had, what's his name? Who normally does Dan's shows, Jeffrey?
Wyatt?
I would think Wyatt.
No, not Wyatt.
Chet.
Chet. Yes,
Oh, okay.
Chet. He goes, hold on real quick. Dave Bradshaw says, Josh, do you want him to help? You know I will jump in on the mic. Anyway, Chet was going to do it, but he would have to take time off work and use vacation days to do it. So he told Dan, he says, hey, it wouldn't hurt his feelings if he got somebody else to do it. And so he talked to me and we came to an agreement, and looks like we're back.
Hey,
So,
Chet's
nice.
hardcore, man. He drives everywhere. He will not fly, I don't think. So, like, every time he comes to
what?
that event, he's road tripping it.
how far is the road trip for you, Jeffrey?
to drive like Cali?
Yeah.
Oh, was it like 1,500 miles?
Yeah.
20. It says 20 hours on Google, but by the time we get there, it was like 24 hours of all the stops and all that. So I know it'll. I know. I do. I have a SoCal setup. I have Texas setup.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But that's. I mean, we had other plans, so that's why we drove more than. Often than not, we would just fly because all of our stuff is there. But yeah, we drove this time, and it seems like it's not that bad the more times we do it, and it's it seems like it's a lot less drive, I guess.
And he might just hang out at his third home, which is Vegas, on the way sometimes.
I try to squeeze in some Vegas time every time I go out there. So
yeah, with the sunglasses on at the poker table, is that the look?
Yeah, that's me.
Funny story talking about a setup and everything. I was blessed. Wayne had called me and said, "Hey, will you meet me here?" And I went over, and it's where the storage unit that he had everything from finals.
Yeah.
When we were in Tennessee. Yes.
And that was cool to see all that stuff. I mean, like nothing's LED. It's all like light bulbs. It's all like his old stuff. It was just insane to see the history there.
Mm-hmm. Did he show you the control center?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
I saw the control center.
He's very proud of the control center.
Oh, yeah. And it's so, and he was talking to me about it, and he's like, it is so outdated.
Yeah, so
we were just...
so the control center, for you guys that are old, like I don't know if Jeffrey's old enough, but did you ever see the show War Games?
Is that a show or a movie?
Movie. War Games.
Is that with
Matthew Broderick?
Matthew Broderick, yeah. Okay, I think I've seen that, yeah.
The consoles that they had in NASA for War Games or inside a Nullis or whatever it was look very, very similar to Wayne's. That's how old that thing looks.
Wow.
Oh Lord! And he was telling me about it, that he thought some of it still worked, and he was going to have it flown down to Austin and have it taken down to Austin so he could work on it and update the technology in it. So
he did.
But that's what he wanted to do with the 25th anniversary finals, was to make it true 25th.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm from Nashville. I live in Nashville all my life. So I've been to 2001, 2002, 2003 finals. I remember them when they were down at the Nashville Convention Center.
Yeah, in the downstairs of the hotel casino, or the not casino, hotel. I'm from Reno, so we do hotel casinos. That's all.
Yeah, everything in Reno is a casino.
Yes, grocery store casino.
Yeah, the Motel 6 is a casino.
That's right.
Gas station casino.
Yeah, that's right. Lots of those. But yeah, so were you there when the guy drove through the wall?
Yes, I was there that year. I wasn't competing that year.
Right.
I was with another group, but yeah, I was there.
Hence the reason we have the rule where you have to have an emergency shut off on the vehicle on any vehicle that you bolt closed.
Yeah, basically from what I think his clutch cable snapped or something.
Yeah,
well,
something
I think
like that.
It was an extreme car.
It was an extreme car.
Yeah, so who knows where that emergency brake was set at, or how they had that
what
set
emergency
up.
brake that it
exactly or lack thereof.
Yeah, I remember that because we were having to push vehicles around, and the fun thing about that year was a friend of ours had a F350 long bed that we were having to push around.
That's light. Don't worry about it.
That's light.
Well, you remember the guy's name was Danny, and he had the 1940s panel wagon.
Yep.
Like a milk truck
it was
type.
Orange.
Was it orange? And,
I think it was orange or it was yellow, one of the two, but I remember it.
It was him, his mom, and his dad, right? He was the guy that ran it. But good Lord, pushing that car. And Carl Lucius's vehicle.
The worst part
Lord,
about Carl Lucius was we bought that. A friend of mine bought that vehicle after she had the blue van. And I can tell you right now, it's sitting in a field in Dixon, Tennessee. It was, but you talk about sketchy. Oh my God. That thing was, oh Lord.
But it was pretty on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, y'all understand its throttle was a brake cable off of a bicycle.
Yes.
Like the handbrake you would pull on, that was the throttle cable. That's how you drove it.
Yeah.
So and the brakes, yeah, don't even ask about the brakes.
They were more of a suggestion than an actual piece of equipment.
Yes, they were.
That's cool. Hey, let's see here. Says Jeremy, we got to team up on David. Sorry.
Poor David. He, like I said, he's walking in with a target on his back at finals. I know that for a fact.
Oh, yeah.
But if anybody can do it, it's him.
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
know,
he's
he
calm, cool,
sleeps and breathes
collected.
this. Yep.
And especially if we get a couple of these trial runs in with some internet, so he's not going into it blind what it's going to be like.
Yeah. Well, that's my
Right,
goal.
yeah.
That's my goal is to be able to get a few people. Definitely, we want to definitely do some of these trial runs so people get used to the fact that they may not be running against the car beside them, and to get used to just looking at that score and focusing on that screen.
Yep. Jeffrey, can you explain to everybody that may not know how the World Finals is how we're going to decide the final two that are going to be on the internet on Sunday?
So essentially, it's going to be the top two guys, no matter what location. It could even be both guys out of one location. Ideally, we would like to have it out of different locations, so that way, we could kind of settle the
This
East
is
Coast,
for
West...
DB Drag. For Top Dog and Base Race, that won't be that way, remember?
Right. Oh, okay. I thought you were asking about DB Drag.
No,
okay.
No. So yeah, just clarify which format you're talking about is all.
Well, what exactly
So
are they
start
doing
with DB
the
Drag.
base?
Start with DB Drag. So explain
So
again.
yeah, I mean, essentially that's how it's going to be. It's going to be the top two loudest that are going to go heads up for World Finals. It could be, like I said, at the same location. It could be multiple. One guy in Canada, one guy in Owensboro, or it can be both in Owensboro. It just needs to be the two top loudest. I'm not exactly sure again how Base Race and Top Dog is going to go. Can you clarify that?
Base Race and Top Dog, you guys will compete at your local event. The top guy for each one. So we'll have 4 people, and they will go head to head to head.
Right.
Then they will be put into a bracket, and they will do a base race. So it'll only be 2 runs, or 1, 2, so 3 runs for base race.
So now, quick question, only
Yes,
because
sir.
I'm still figuring it out. Now, are they going to requalify, or are we just going to put in like every single one of them had a?
If you're the winner of the 39.9 class, you're going to be in the 39.9 class.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is that qualification scores confirm bracketing on how.
No, they
works.
don't. Brackets
random.
are random.
It's random.
Okay. So they don't have to requalify. They're just going to put in, 39.9 or whatever, and then it'll just let the bracket go.
That's correct.
All right. So basically, if you win your region,
Yep.
you will just run again.
Correct.
And yeah. Cool.
And then on Sunday, we'll go head to head against whoever else. Cyclone and Freestyle, those won't have additional runs as they're just single run formats. Let's see, Top Dog, Base Race, yep, and DB Drag. So the winner, DB Drag, so whoever like the top 2 guys are in the whole world for the scores, doesn't matter where they're at, they're going to go against you. If they're at the same location or a different location, doesn't matter, they're going to go head to head on Sunday for their finals. So, but Base Race and Top Dog, we'll do that Sunday, and they'll go head to head. Now, you would really like my setup I'm going to have on the West Coast. Cyclone's a one and done, Julio. Well, I just said that. You guys are about 20 seconds behind. Anyway, so I'm going to have a TV up at the front that's going to show the other locations. And obviously on the scoreboard TV, it'll have each lane going at the same time. So you'll be able to see their score, your score, on the same board as if they were sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'm going to do different is I'm going to have a TV sitting there so that you should be able to see that location and that person running in the lane. You could see they're celebrating or whatever when they win or lose or whatever. So,
Cool.
which is, it's a little complicated to set up, but if you guys can set that up when we're doing the multiple locations, you'll really like how it does. And then what I do is I run that TV through my PA system so that they can hear what's going on in that location also.
Awesome. I know Wayne, the first year we did this, I think he did the exact same thing. I remember I knew we could see Cali.
Right.
Yeah, I remember we could see you guys because I remember the big white tent thing that you had set up.
Yep. So our indoor facility this year cost the exact same price as that tent.
I can't beat that then.
Hell no. All right, guys. Hey, we're up on the hour. I'm going to go back to bed and take a nap because that's what I need to do because I actually have to be to work at 3 o'clock in the morning again.
Ooh, you take a hot toddy.
Hot toddy. That's kind of what my daughter said.
Is that what she said?
Well, she said hot tea with honey and cinnamon or something.
Yeah, there's another additive to that she left out.
Yeah.
But I don't drink, so.
Oh, it'll knock you out. It'll knock you out.
It'll make sure I get my good night's sleep.
Yes, yes.
Especially since I don't drink at all.
Right.
No, but hey, guys, it was great having you guys on here. Chris, anything you want to mention? Talk about sponsor, upcoming show?
Well, just always like to shout out to Excess Power. You see them in the background. Without them, I wouldn't be having events in Tennessee. And we have what we call every year we do it. We have the 5X weekend coming up. Well, it's a 5X base race weekend, Top Dog. It is a 4X DB drag racing weekend. We do an event in Bowling Green, Kentucky on the 24th of June. That night, we do a Cash Days in Russellville, Kentucky. And then the following day, we do a 2X in Russellville. So it's our way of basically getting a 5X weekend with my limited ability of being a 2X judge. But I'm not mad. I'll never tell anything because Wayne's always told me that if I wanted to be a 3X, I could. But I still enjoy holding that radio and competing. So
yeah,
there you go.
You would have to step aside from competing in order to get that higher.
And I've been close. I've been close. Every time I pick up that radio, I still get the high off of it. When I stop getting the high off of it, stop getting the adrenaline rush, you'll see the 3X badge. So
and then you'll have to do Beat the Boss.
Yep, then I'll have to do Beat the Boss. So.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So,
all right, what you got, Jeffrey?
So I got a show coming up. It's right here over my shoulder, Saturday, June 24th. It's going to be the start of our, I'd say, evening series of shows.
In Texas, that's important.
Exactly. It's very important. This Texas heat, we don't want to be starting, high noon like we have been because it's just going to get hotter and hotter. So we've kind of been doing evening shows during the summer. Our first one's going to be Saturday, June 24th, starting at 4 p.m. So see you guys then.
Awesome. And for me, I got a show in Fresno Friday. And then I'm going on a cruise. I'll be back the 18th. Jeffrey and I are still trying to work out if I can do the show while I'm on the cruise.
That's dedication.
Well, we're still going to try and do the podcast and do it. I appreciate that you guys tune in and get all this stuff. And Dark Side Car Club says we get to see the live stream with the Texas show. And you, nice flex, Doug. Hey, so here, I'm going to tell you guys something real quick. I've been working since I was 14 years old. I moved out of my house when I was 14. Been living on my own. Until I got married. But so I moved out when I was 14 years old. I've been working since then. I took my very first vacation of my entire life about 3 years ago. I went to Alaska for 10 days. My version of a vacation was I went on a cruise to Alaska. And if you guys don't know, cruises are cheap.
Ooh, I love cruises.
10 days, like $3,000.
Celise is kind of doing that, if you haven't noticed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
She's got her now travel agency thing. She just got her license. Anyway, so I did that cruise. And what I did is every morning I woke up at 6 and until 9, I worked on my laptop and then I did my vacation. So people don't think that's exactly a vacation. And I'm going to do that again on this one. And I'm also going to take Monday night and do the podcast. That's the closest I've ever been to doing a vacation. So I travel all over the world doing all kinds of stuff for work, DB drag, and I'm a worker. My wife says I'm the most boringest person in the world when we go to Vegas. We went to Vegas in February. I literally bowled from 8 a.m. to midnight for 6 days straight. And my wife says, you're so boring.
Hey, that's my son's way. That's my son's. You just talked to my son about a vacation.
Yeah. So, exactly. Everything's a business trip. That's right, Jeremy. So I ain't flexing on this. It, I got to find a way to. I got to still make my wife happy. I still got to live with her when we're all done with the day. And my wife's a teacher, so she gets the whole summer off, and I don't take summers off. So, and then she sits at home waiting for me to come home all day, and then I go bowling at night and run my other businesses, and she gets frustrated by just sitting at home and waiting for me, as she puts it. I don't see it that way, but she does. Anyway, guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. Chris, thanks for popping in. Hope you had a good time again with us this week. Everybody watching, pay attention. It looks like we're going to have Meter the cruise ship, is what Michael Longstreet says. Maybe I can do some what was it, the screaming contest while we're on the cruise ship.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, guys, pay attention. Wayne's really trying to get this worked out. Hopefully we have some confirmed dates after my cruise. So that's all looking good. Other than that, like I said, I have a show Friday, and then I'll be back on the 22nd, I think, for another show. And that's in Sacramento, I believe. So plenty of shows coming up. And like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in, especially on this Memorial Weekend. I'm a big fan of the military. You should never worship anybody but your Lord and God, whichever person that may be, your deity. But I do have reverence for the military and what they've done in the past to help support us. Jeffrey just did one for a fallen soldier, just did a show. That's what this day is about, is, like I said, remembering those that have given us what we, these great freedoms we had. Just so I had a talk with my son today about how the United States has such immense freedoms, and he's been talking to his friends on the video games all over the world the last couple of weeks about how in South Africa they don't have freedom of speech. They can't own firearms in Canada.
Well, did we lose
like
Chris?
He
might have
just
lost Chris.
no, he's still there. He just
Oh.
lost his his video. Jose Ramos, we just heard somebody took the no wall record. Guy never even been to a show. Just saying. Waiting for you to come and get that back. But anyway, guys, hey, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. That's Monday night. We'll be talking with the judges on This Week in Car Audio, 5:30 p.m. California time.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Did we push the sponsors?
Oh, sorry, I didn't get that. Sponsors
okay.
for today's shows: Puns Customs and Voodoo Customs and Crossfire Car Audio. Thank you for the sponsoring our show. And always remember that. Oh, we lost them now for sure.
Bummer.
Always remember, support those who support the things that you like. So if you get an opportunity, please purchase from the people that support us. Once again, you guys have a good week. We'll see you back next Monday at 5:30 p.m. California time, the only time that matters. West Side. All right, talk to you guys later. Peace.